Hello friends, welcome back to STNMS YouTube channel. This is Deepali Mule. Today we are going to discuss about force and work. Lesson number 16, class 4, subject science. So dear students, in this video we are going to learn about force, types of force, work done and activities where work is not done. So in this video we are going to discuss about different types of force. Let us see one example of force. As this boy is moving this toy, it means that for moving this toy, that boy is pushing or pulling this toy. So this is one example of force. This boy is applying force on that small car, on that toy. Let us see the many more things about force. So what is meant by force? A push or pull acting on a body is called as a force. So in force, that two activities will come, that is push or pull. As day-to-day life, we are doing lots of work. For doing any type of work, as we are using mostly push or pull activity. A force happens when two objects interact with each other. That is, when one object does something to other object. When the interaction stops, the force also stops. Let us see examples of force. When the wind pushes a sailboat through the water, it is exerting a force. When gravity pulls an apple towards the ground, that is one example of a force. If I am throwing one pin downside, so it will come downside, it will come towards the ground. So this is an example of force only. So dear students, here we are going to discuss about different effects of force. The first one, that is a force can move an object. When we are applying force to any object, that object will move. That object will change place from one position to another position. Second one, that is force can stop the moving object. If we are throwing ball from one side and other player is catching that ball, so it means that with the help of force we can stop the moving object. Third effect, that is force can change the direction of moving object. It means that when we are throwing ball, so by applying the force we can change the direction of moving object. Fourth one, a force can change the shape and size of an object. As we know that, as we are blowing balloon, so we can change the shape of that object. We can change the size of the object. It means that by applying force, we can change shape and size of object. So dear students, in this way, we have learned the different types of effects of force on different objects. There are many different types of forces are there, like gravitational force, frictional force, muscular force, mechanical force. So in this way, we are going to learn many more types of force. But in our class, in 4th standard, we are going to learn about two different types of force. First one, gravitational force, and second one, that is the frictional force. So let us see first one, that is gravitational force. So what is meant by gravitational force? We all have seen that a ball that is thrown up in the sky, it will fall down back only towards the ground. If I am throwing this pen downside, it will come downside only. It will come towards the ground only. Why it is? Because of gravitational force. So here you can see one example I have shown you. This is the one apple tree. This apple will fall downside. It will not go up. Because of gravitational force, because of gravity, that apple come towards ground only. So this is one example of gravitational force. So gravitational force means the force of attraction of the earth that pulls object towards itself is known as gravitational force. This is because a force acts on the ball which pull it back towards the ground. So this is called as a gravitational force. And second one, that is the frictional force. So this is also important. When you push a book on a table, It slides across the table but then stop after some time. Why it is? Because of frictional force. Let us see what is meant by frictional force. The force acts in between the book and the surface of table, which reduces the movement of a book. This force is known as a frictional force. Frictional force means what? The force exerted by a surface when an object slides over it. Frictional force is also a force that opposes a motion, that opposes moving object. Frictional force can be seen in everyday life. It is found everywhere where objects come in contact with each other. So dear students, here I have shown you one example of frictional force. A moving car is stopped by applying brakes. When we are applying brakes, after some time that car will slow down and afterward it will stop. This is because of frictional force. Because friction causes in between the brakes and wheel and it stops the movement of that car. If we walk on a very smooth surface like ice or oil, we may get slip. This is because there is a less friction. It means that rough surface offer more friction while smooth surface offer less friction. So my dear students, in this way we have learned about gravitational force and frictional force. Remaining content we are going to learn in the next video. So thank you and have a nice day. Bye everybody.